Hello from China to everyone. So I'm Jiatong Wu is my name, and from Wu Promotion. I'm very honored to be invited to give a short speech to your conference. Wu Promotion founded 20 years before by my father and I, and 20 years before we decided to do this business, to do cultural exchange. We think this is a contribution to the understanding between the nations. And 20 years before, we started with the chamber orchestra, chamber music, to come to China from Vienna. Nowadays, so we are, I would say, a leading agency and a promoter in Asia area. So I understood the topic of this conference is to talking about China. So performing arts group in Holland, how you come to China, and how you work with Chinese agencies, how you work with China theaters, and what kind of problems might be you face in China. So let's do it step by step. From my experience, if you are a performing arts group, you have to decide what you want. I would say, so if you bring the money, so international flight and cargo, hotels and whatever, it's very easy to realize. Because Chinese people are very warm and like to accept a foreign culture. So if you want to come to China, so it's will be very easy, I will say. So if you have the financial support from government, from companies, sponsors, I will say it's very easy because the Chinese audience are very warm, and you can find an agency to realize for you. Could be also a travel agency or professional agencies like Wu Promotion. If you are a performing arts group, you want to come to China and to do business, so I will say to earn money, it will be a little difficult. So you have to decide. So I will say big names like Concertgebouw, no doubt. So just tell me when you want to come. So the international flight, everything, and also performance fee will be paid by Chinese, because also the Chinese people, so they know Concertgebouw, one of the world best orchestras, and also NDT, for example. So many good Dutch performing arts group is already well known in Chinese market. And I think this kind of performing arts groups, you can come to China because the branding is already done. The second point is, the second level is a performing arts group. A very good one, but still not, also very recognized in the world, but still not a big name in China. So then you need to build up your brand in China. So you have two ways to do it. So long-term planning, so I would say every 2 years to come back to Chinese market and try to do your branding. So I will not suggest to work with the theater directly, because I think house like NCPA or like Shanghai Grand Theater, so they have many performances during the year. So I will say 600 or 1,000 performances during the year. So they have hundreds of groups come into China, and they could not focus on your orchestra or your ensemble to do the branding. So that means they will do the promotion like others. So your branding, so they will do the promotions just for ticket sales, not especially for your branding. So then if you want to come to China long term to build up your branding, to do the business, I will suggest to you work with a promoter or an agency who work with you for long term, and to develop a strategy for your coming. Every 2 years or every 3 years, you come back to China and choose the cities you want to promote. And of course also invite the sponsors, potential sponsors to come to your performance, all this. So in additional, so I want to say, if you come to China for orchestras, ensembles, chamber music, you have to be a little careful with the program. So if you do too avant-garde or too contemporary, so we will have problems in China, because the Chinese people expecting classic orchestras to play classic music. And I know, so Holland is a leading country for contemporary music, but please do not choose a program for 2 hours contemporary music, so the Chinese audience will run away. So the second question for this conference I give to me is what kind of problems you could face in China, or we are facing as agency or promoters. I will say so. There are 2 points I want to tell you. The first one is the level of the education of the theater's programming departments. So we have 1 or 2 in China, Beijing or Shanghai or you name it. So many big cities, they have theaters, but not every theater have a professional programming department. And because of the education of the people, so they are not from this field, and the theaters are just a new build from last year or 2 years before, or it's, they are building. That has been the people working for the programming, so they are not really professional. So if you are talking with a programming director in Rotterdam or in Concertgebouw, so you can expecting the people understand everything. But in China, if you're talking with a young lady, perhaps 30s, and the lady perhaps never heard jazz or never heard chamber music, so this could be the situation. The second one is short term, I will say. Not many theaters planning 2013. So that has been, so if you are an orchestra, big orchestra, if you want to come to China, you have to planning for 2013, 14. So this is the problem always we are facing. So the way so we solve this problem is like Wu Promotion. If you believe in an agency, like Wu Promotion, you say, okay, Wu Promotion is a good agency, I believe in it. So Wu Promotion, what we can promise is from when to when the China tour is happened. So we can deal together with condition, so we can confirm it, and the contract can be signed. But we cannot say from when to when in which cities, if it's a long tour. So if it's only 2 or 3 days attached to Japan tours, just Beijing or Shanghai, of course we can do it 2013, 2014. But if you have a long tour in China for 10 concerts, so you might give me time. So I will say half years before the tour start to give you the confirmed tour schedule. Otherwise, it cannot work. So the problem we are facing in China, one very important point I have to say is the programming department and also the head of the theaters are very not very stable. So that has been, so if you are talking with a programming department, the lady or the gentleman, so it could be 3 months after or 6 months after they are changing the people again. So that has been, so you have to keep very close relations with all the theaters in China, and yeah, so keep a very good relations, very time consuming, and to keep talking with the people and follow up the projects. So this makes the life very difficult. So this is for example, what I see a problem, so what we always have to solve. One point is about the ticket situation in China. So some groups came to China and wondering, so how high the ticket price in China is, and how big the concert hall is, and how full the concert hall is, and thought, my God, how many money so they earn through my performances. So this kind of pictures is not really a true pictures. Because many of the tickets give out for the people, for the friends of the sponsors and all this. So in the tickets, they print the tickets high price because it's make a gift very attractive. So because if you put 1 RMB on it or 100 RMB on it, it's a difference. So if you give away as a gift. So that's why don't think performing arts or let's say so classic music in China, it's a big business, so it's not. So it will never be also a business if we are talking about a big orchestra touring. So without big sponsor, big sponsor, it will never work. So because we are talking about 100 musicians and 1,000 audience, 100 musicians on the stage and 1,000 tickets income have to cover all the hotel, all the transportation and cargo, and this and all the theater and promotion, of course, and this works never, even not in Europe. So the last point is about the future. So how should we deal with all these problems, and how should we go on? So I will say, if you believe in China and if you believe in Chinese market, And I would say give China a little time. So we have bright future for sure, because every city, if you read newspaper and if you have experience in China, you know every city are building theaters, building concert halls, and they are coming. But we still need time to convince the government, or the government has to realize to build up the theaters, the hardware is only the first step. The second step for the programming costs more money than build up the theaters. And the programming, so we need also expertise. We need still professional people work on this. And we have so many young people now studying in Holland, in Germany, in Europe, in America, and they are coming back. Of course, they are very young. Of course, they are not in the, how can I say, they are not decision makers. We still need a little time. So until this kind of people, other programming directors can give influence of the programming. So I would say if the government realize how important the programming is, and also not only the hardware and also the software, and work on it, and have also a budget for this, and we have professional people work on this. So then I think we are so far. You can come to China and make also the business. Have fun with the conference, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I give you some ideas for China, could contribute a little. And I always say, so welcome everybody to China, and we're lovely to support you, and yeah, so call me or contact us every time so you like.